Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 15 of Firemind. Well, today I have a lot of things ahead of you. First of all, I want to introduce the really glorious city expansions that I have prepared in between. So, first of all, this is going to be the petitioned temple for the Fellowship of Ashes with a nice celebration area in the front area and some contemplations hidden from the prying eyes. I really like this small concept. It was really cool to build, and soon our miners will carve out that thing and we'll be decorating it. But upstairs is where we will see the real expansion. So we've seen so many new faces in the city that I had to expand on the city, and I came up with two new levels of new city because we need a lot of people. And as you can already see, this is a pretty intricate and playful building style, as we have a area that just wriggles around the mountainside with a potential temple, as this is a celebration spot, and a lot of apartment space here with some premium apartment spots. And here, this area is going to be the Baron's quarters. So I have already a little bit of a fore planning here with some labyrinthine pathways offering entrance from various angles. I was trying to get my way around some more experimental things. And here again, just like down here, a bit of a larger plaza for the gods. And upstairs we have a completely different design, more of a luxury barracks design over here. Couple of big rooms. I don't know if I make them temples or dining halls and taverns. Haven't fully wrapped up my mind around that yet. Few premium apartments on the mountain nooks, and here again more of a big thing with two apartment suites for nobles already planned in. So I've been going a little bit wild on these, but the fortress is ever growing. We will see 300 population here anytime too soon, and I want to be prepared before this is going to make anybody unhappy. Okay, so that's the state of affairs. The only real trouble that I see is still the theft of one of our artifacts. Commissioner Fetic will be investigating the case, as we can now interrogate the people that were involved. So we can only we have already one interview scheduled with the witness which noticed that the artifact was missing, but that's not necessarily a person that is involved in theft. So today's episode we will be very, very much busy around the expansion of the city yet again, as this is one hell of a task. We have a lot of busy hands in this thing involved, and yeah. Let's see, we have also one artifact maker, one possessed artifact maker, inside the guild hall for the crafters. I love this. This is so cool. And we have again, let's see. Here. We have again somebody hauling treasures from, I don't know from where. So, who are you? Doomed Minebear. What a name. So, he comes from only this fortress. He's a brand new face. I love to see that. We get to see some of these folks in action that are not hailing from previous fortresses. So, since he is possessed, he will not gain any skills out of that. But, well, we'll see about what he's creating. Skill-wise, he's really good with gems. Well, that's at least something. And he's hauling together a lot of items for his artifact. That's one thing I do really notice. We already have so much stuff here. Mostly really valuable rough gemstones, though. Anyways, so our miners are striking some gemstones. That's actually a really nice side effect here. But let's get down with the temple for the Fellowship of Ashes. This is the organized religion of Vukar, and when it comes down to the storytelling of this place, I gotta say, this does mean that we are now really recognized, you know? This is like the Catholic Church wants to force you to have one of their temples in here. So I'd reckon this is, in terms of dwarven culture, a real step forward. So we accept that petition, as I am now willing and capable of fulfilling it. Now, what kind of materials do I have available to me? I got granite, I got diorite. I don't have any bright or dark stone. If I would be furnishing a temple for Fukar, I would be thinking more of dark tones, like cobaltite would be really awesome. But, well, we're gonna work with what we got here. It's better than nothing. Alright, and of course the walls have to be smoothed. There we go. And tell you what, I am really sick and tired of this migration of people. So we got a couple of legendary stonecutters here, you know? Even Tholtic is one of them. So we are going to get these legendary and masterful stonecutters to their fitting tasks. So not every time I want something smoothened, the entire fortress will do this migration dance. As cool as it is not really efficient or anything. And those guys, well, they're not cutting any stones in the time, but that doesn't necessarily get us into trouble. Alright, so the city itself is growing ever forward, and we got a couple of plans up ahead of us that are really just ever growing. I mean, the fortress pavement is, well, it's a bit of a shy thing so far, but we're getting there. The most important thing right now is that we are at the brink of the real industries here. So we're making the pearl ash that we require for the clear glass. I really hope that we do, though. I gotta double check on that industry at another point. But for now, I personally have the first and foremost interest in expanding the city. We need to hit those 300 people, a bone amulet, as quick as possible, and yeah, being prepared for that will make everything else easier. So this thing is worth 24,000 dwarf bucks. Jeez. So again, a reference to somebody founding something in the year 12. They go really wild with the ancient history here in this fortress. Well, I'm mostly concerned these days that... Oh, let's see. So... shouldn't there be a... already interviewed, so... shouldn't I be able to look into that log? Is Tholtic so bad that the interrogation report didn't even achieve anything? It's weird. Usually you can't look into that log. So, that doesn't really help us in any form. So, we could interrogate the chaos. Jokes aside. We are going to interrogate all of the humans. As I really think these guys are the people that we should ask. Obviously, we cannot interrogate people who are not present right now. I wonder why, but yeah. Okay, let's get back to the city expansion. Our miners are doing tremendously good work. We have still our main protagonist, the woodcutter UZOL, in the background, lingering. Her hatred for the elven kind is festering. If we would ask her, it's pretty clear who has stolen the artifact. It must be these guys again. So, I take it from a narrative point of view that our mayor is getting more and more complaints from one certain woodcutter. Can't really roleplay that out here and there, but I just want to say she must come off like one of those tinfoil people, you know? It's an elven conspiracy theory. going on in the fort now. Because who else would be stealing our goods? We offended them, obviously, with a piece of soap, and now that's how they take revenge, or so the story goes. Alright, so we got now a bit of this and that, and for the most sacred temple here, the most sacred temple of Vukar, I imagine that a certain legendary engraver has to do the job, because everything else would be not fit for the purpose. You could also deem it power playing, as it will increase the value of this temple tremendously. But as this is the organized religion of the most important religion in the civilization, you wouldn't want anybody dabbling around on that. No, not at all. Not under any circumstances. You want only the best of the best for that job. At least that's how I read things. Well, so we still have to do a lot of things here. Let's see. We have struck a little bit of chert. Got so endless amounts of limestone. This place is, in the entire excavation of the city is producing limestone in a amount that I really am considering a quantum stockpile for that, as it really makes the city ugly. I can't put it into different words, it just makes the city so darn ugly. With all the boulders lying around, but well. So people are already meandering towards the temple. This must be one of the big things happening here in the city, you know, when the Royal Temple of Death and Suicide is founding its local branch. It's like the Inquisition, finally at your city. I can imagine that many dwarves in the Civ take the veneration of Vukar as a double-edged sword. I imagine that they deem themselves that this is some sort of a scheme to take control over life and death and whatnot by making a religion out of it. But yeah, it comes at a price, you know. You have to recognize priests, and you have to assign the milker as the holy death. And all of a sudden, the person who's been wrenching out milk into buckets becomes one of the most important and venerated people here, only because his faith in Vukar was high enough to show up at the list on top. That is not how it should be. Anyways, it gives the people something to strive towards to, and as you see here, there's already people socializing here, and they are happy about performing rites in here, you know. We're meditating on death, obviously. That's making these blokes happy. Oh, I don't judge, but sometimes I really wonder. Anyways, we are here now able to put down some extra flooring into these new rooms. I will be not gearing them out here in terms of furniture, as this will take really forever. But I really need to do the flooring jobs here in between, as these are really major points in terms of workload. We are putting a huge strain on the fort with that expansion, but it is really necessary in its damn time. So I really enjoy the city building part of Dwarf Fortress a ton. This is so cool that you have a total freedom there, you know. You can't just rack them up in a beehive type of thing, and nobody will mutter about that. And when I started out with the game, this was the perfect, fine way of playing the game for me. But the longer I played it, the more I enjoy it now to just make a frickin' city out of it. And, well, we have barracks, after all, but I really need some type of industry taking care of all the limestone stuff. I might even go as far and start making stuff out of limestone. I don't know. It's just like limestone is the only material that we got here. No, it's not true. We even have different sorts of flux stone here, if I remember correctly. Nah, I don't need to be stingy about limestone in this fort, which makes Firemind a real special place. I'm really relieved that for a day I'm not pondering about how I will get the magma into the fort. I must imagine that UZOL is dreaming of the same things. She's wondering about how we can flood this entire darned forest once and for all. I must imagine that this must be pretty much the equivalent of a thermonuclear warhead if you just dump a ton of subterranean magma into the local forest. But, well, dwarves do what dwarves do if you steal their artifacts. I'm really scared that we will see even more thefts now. That's my main concern. So every new arrival, this Austri Tiqua Mistrum person, everybody will now be interrogated, because this is really a big thing for the dwarfs. So Austri was his name, and the only way that we can get ourselves some intel is that we just interrogate everybody who's from outside. Oh, now I can read them. So every outside force will now be interrogated, as I think that some outsider must have been involved in these thefts, because I imagine that our good friend Commissioner Fetic, he doesn't believe in this elven conspiracy nonsense. You know, he's the hero. He's the antagonist of UZOL. Maybe we have a story of an anti-hero here, but what I also do notice is that in this year, another thing is really pretty important. We need to strap our herbalists on a big job, because the drink stockpiles are running low, and that is always one time of the year where we just go foraging out into this malevolent forest. Well, I love the bigotry behind that, you know? Hating on the forest and then enjoying some booze that you can only brew out of forest stuff. It's perfect. So all the temples here still look pretty bare bones. I don't like that. We need to fetch up some decorations and all for that. But before I feel ready for this, I really want to get the important things done, you know. We have excavated this area in a amazing amount of time. Our legendary miners are really, really fast. This is one thing that comes as a unique point of Firemind, as we have so many legendary dwarfs from previous fortresses roaming around. Many tasks are getting done in no time, as we have legendary stonecutters getting the stone cutting done in no time. The only thing I'm sad about is that there is no thing as a legendary hauler who can just gallop through the mine in light speed. There is one thing that I finally could do, but I loathe to, and that's minecarts. Minecart systems would be a real step forward, but, well, let's just say the Towers of Age are a little bit of a medieval civilization, and they don't know about that high-tech stuff. AKA, as soon as I have learned it, I will also use it. You will see here on these little clock icons here that our wealth of diorite blocks has subsided. So let's check back with our stonecutters. They must have enough diorite to work with, but I gotta say the diorite stockpiles are not looking that nice, so we better check back with our mines. I mean, here, this is exactly the point I'm talking about. When it comes down to mining, we really could use some automated system, something better than wheelbarrows, but, well, I haven't found time yet to get acquainted with how that all works. I mean, in theory already I do know. In practice, though, I haven't had the stomach to go through the trial and error system that Dwarf Fortress sometimes means when you want to acquire something new. But we'll get to that one day. For this story, like I said, I do like to roleplay that the Towers of Age are not a civilization that doesn't utilize these systems too much. I mean, they are so bonkers, they rather carry their minecarts from down below to upstairs before coming to the idea to carve out some mine tracks. Maybe that's just how dumb they are. Either way, let's check back with Commissioner Faltig's adventures. So, the problem of Thaltix is also that he sucks at what he does. He is by no means a policeman, and somehow I love it for this. The best policemen are those who just have a good heart and follow that calling because they want to do something right in this world, and that's how I imagine Thaltic in his job as. He wants to get that artifact back. When he noticed the theft, I imagined that he was the first person being like, somebody has to do something about that. And that's how the story went. Speaking about these things, I am somehow watching on my, I don't know, on my attention somehow is that the drink stockpile is going down. I just didn't find any words for that. The easiest part to resolve that is that we just bring up a couple of stills up here. It always comes to point in a fortress where one still will be running 24/7, but there will be just not enough workforce available for the ever-growing thirst of a fortress like that. Anyways, so the story goes on like that. Commissioner Faltig will try to get down to the bottom of the artifact theft, and I'll take good care that everybody who is new to the fort will see a proper interrogation, and we will come down to the bottom of things, because it cannot be that this artifact has fallen victim to elven thieves, if you ask one. Faltig. He is much more convinced that the humans are the culprits here, jealous of or crafts dwarf ship, and I just saw a animal roaming around with a mutton chop over its head. That means it's hungry. That means I have again forgotten my tasks. That's just that. It happens too often. Alright, as you see here, we get now new workers busy on the breweries, and this will eventually fill our stockpiles yet again. Although I gotta say, it might be wise to just get ourselves a bit of a larger stockpile for our drink, because I see this not being fulfilled to my own liking here. Alright, it's also sowing time, as I see there, or planter is busy. So at this point, we are building... Wait a sec. Militia Commander Dabbling Planter? Nah. Why should I do this if I have 3 legendary planters available? No. So we do this like that. Much, much better. Alrighty. So I just noticed that there's, in my opinion, not much reason for this lever to be flicked like that. It's better if I just take all the water from this system and fill it into the well, as we can whenever we want to. Oh, I have now a direct connection to the brook. Never mind me. We have to... This has to be disclosed. Alright. It's always nice to see if I'm smarter than myself, if my former self was smarter than me. If you wonder why I keep that closed, currently, if I keep that open, whatever wants to can swim through the brook into my fortress. That's not a funny thought, especially if you just want to seal yourself off of a roaming titan or something unfun like that. There are things out there that just want to eat us for breakfast. Alright, so it'll take a while until the diorite has been cut, so let's head back to our first quarry. Now, let's see. So this place is going to be our first quarry, as we are quarrying out the hell of the diorite which is present here. But I want to do another thing, as most of the metals were present in the on this map in this cluster up here, I want to have a huge quarry up here and just check back. Maybe I'm lucky and I find something. So, Erdem Annam has sent their caravan, so we open our arms and greet our dwarven brothers and sisters. So, what do we have for sale for today? Well, let's see. All in all, I think the best thing that we still can sell here are, wow, finished goods bins? No, that's where our artifacts are in. That's why they are so darn valuable. No. I accidentally hit the wrong mouse button there. No, I'm looking for the gemstone bin, obviously. There we go. I hope we have another one there. But it doesn't look good. It seems like, oh yeah, there. All right. I've been excavating so much that I am positive that there has to be a lot of goodies around there. Alrighty. Let's see. The caravan hasn't arrived yet, but we are by now a metropolis. So if we are lucky, it'll be this, or at the latest next year until we are capable of making this a barony. I really hope that we will be capable of getting this done rather sooner than later, but, well, let's see about that. For some reason our traders are taking forever this time. Ah, finally the diplomacy. Alrighty, so... it's been time. I knew it must have happened, and, of course, UZOL is that kind of person, as she is the person who can decide for herself who is going to be the Baron, as she is the expedition leader. She will be selflessly declaring that only one person can take the burden, and that's herself. And I don't know why the hell I have no search bar here. Jeez, that's terrible. Where are you, UZOL? I know you are around there. They're not even alphabetically ordered, but here she is. Of course she's going to be the new Baron. And we're going to be ordering... Let's see. We're going to be ordering spears because we need a couple of them. And we are also going to order ourselves some tin bars. As we are now a barony, this is completely, our next import will be completely different. We're basically only importing tin and iron for the next time, because I am done with importing finished goods. As we have so many legendary metalworkers here, it will be really nonsensical to do differently. All right, so what an episode. We finally have UZOL as the Baroness of this place, so the plot thickens, my friends. She has now all the political might she requires to do all the shenanigans she wants to, and this will mark a new low point in the dwarf-elven relationships. But, you know, I've been working towards this, so why should I bother being unhappy about that? So we are going to get ourselves some extra cave spider silk. Never hurts to have a few more extra of these. And let's see, we have a trade value of 8,000. That is quite a lot, if I might say so. But that doesn't stop me from importing some yummy fruit as well, as this is always a welcome thing. So let's see, I was hoping that we could automatically fill, but no. So we're just going to offer the finest of gemstones, the zircons and the topazes that we got, and the less valuable gemstones we're going to use for the sake of beautying up Firemind. Really like this idea, but there still lingers the question of this artifact theft. So let's see. As usual, they are asking for more. We accept that counteroffer, and we're good with that. So we have, again, another extra of 4 fighters here, making this squad now finally complete. So we're going to go and assign the jobs of fighters to the people that were fighters in previous fortresses, as this is always the easiest way to make sure that these guys are ready to rumble right from the get-go, because we have basically now a squadron of 10 killing machines, so come what may, we are now ready to go. So, I think this is the best point to end for today. So, we have the story of Commissioner Fetic and Baroness UZOL. I think this is a great start for the whole narrative. I mean, the victims are down here. I mean, look at them, how many there are. And we're going to continue this story next time. I will be fetching up some furniture into these rooms in between the episodes. Not all of them can be furnitured, but, you know, just placing down the ghosts in between so you don't have to witness that mind-numbing task. Next episode, we are obviously going to make sure that Her Highness has a nice, has some nice quarters. I also have missed to fetch up the needs of Tholtic's apartment as well. So there's a lot of things that we need to get done. Either way, thank you so much for being around. Leave me in comments down below. I always love hearing back from you. A thumbs up for the algorithm would be also deeply appreciated, or just subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated with all the things that I do. In the description box down below, you will find the links to all the Savage Lands things that I did. After all, this is the 5th fortress on this world that I'm playing, and you can watch them all if you wanted to. And last but not least, check out Patreon, PayPal, and buy me a coffee. I'd be delighted if you did, and a big thanks to all the supporters out there. I deeply appreciate your support, and making these videos is so much more fun than it already is with all the love and support you guys give. So stay awesome, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching this video even after. Until this point, a special thanks to you watching my videos, obviously even after all these ad breaks, and I hope you have a jolly good time today. See you there. Bye bye.